Well, hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome to another stream, and welcome to another video. What are we working on today? Well, we're working on these guys here. We're continuing on these guys. The ROKAF 4D Phantom. We're turning the Tamiya kit into the Academy kit, and that's what we're doing. You guys saw last time I didn't get a heck of a lot done, right? That's just the way things go. Yes, Uella, I am back. Thank you very much. Oh, and thank you for the subscription. Yes, thank you very much. That's awesome. Where was I? Yes, we got some painting done on our rear stabilizers. Not a heck of a lot, right? Just that's it. It took me like a good hour just to do all four of them, and then I had to go, and that was it. So that's all I got done. So between then and now, I got the little rear section of the Tamiya kit painted. I got the rear section of the Academy kit painted. Obviously, you might think, oh, you already assembled the Academy. Well, the Academy kit, this was already one piece. One big piece. And that's just going to drop in. If I grab the fuselage, you can tell also I painted the bottoms white. This got about 4 coats of white on it. And then I masked off and I did the little silver. Obviously my engines are now light gunmetal color. And I did the light gunmetal surround around those engines, and this guy is just going to drop in like right there. He's going to just sit in nicely, just like that. We're not ready for it yet, but that's how it's going to sit. It's just like that, one big piece. Okay, the Tamiya kit's a little bit different, so we're going to assemble the Tamiya kit today. We're just going to put this one aside for now. The Tamiya kit, again, totally white underneath, and I've done the painting, and as you can see, it's partial around here. We've got pieces to put in here. Now I still have to mask off here and do the dark gunmetal on the inside here. This one was of course nice and easy to mask because it's one piece, and you just run a piece of masking tape right along the side there like you're supposed to, and you get that difference, light gunmetal and dark gunmetal. Of course, when you're all done with your weathering and stuff, you're not going to really notice all that much, because you know these things put out a lot of black smoke, and I've seen, you can watch guys building these things on YouTube all over the place. It's a popular plane, doing all the very fine work of doing all the tiny little lines that happen with the metal on there and everything like that. And yeah, and then they go over it with the black soot that comes out of the engines, and you don't even see all that work that they've done. So the way I look at it, why bother with all that when you don't see it at the end of the day anyway? You just know it's there. So, but who cares? Who cares if you never see it, right? So anyway, that's that. That's my little rant there. So I still have to mask this off, and I've got to do the dark gunmetal. I will do that part. In the meantime, I want to get this assembled, and then we're going to assemble the actual engines, the exhausts for this guy. So let's get started with this. Okay, I'm going to change the camera here, and I'm going to refer to my instructions so I get all the parts proper, because I do have to find polycaps. I do remember there was some polycaps in that kit. I just don't remember if I pulled them out of the box or if they're sitting at the bottom of the box. Let's find out. Let's find out. Are they sitting at the bottom of the box, or did they pull them out of there? Because I don't remember. It's been a little while now. I'm not seeing them at the bottom of the box. So I must have pulled them out. I must have pulled them out. So that means they're on my desk here somewhere. And I've acquired a whole bunch of different paints and stuff. And so I may have inadvertently tucked them away. Right there. With just a little bit of dust on them because they've been sitting for a while. Okay. Let's put all my extra paints back. Okay, so I also need to get another piece. B21. I think all my pieces I need are right here. So I'm going to take another sip of my tea. And switch the camera for you. Hello. Okay. So let's get these off of the sprue. There's 1, 2. All of these parts go together. Okay, and now that's garbage. Alright, so looking at the instructions here, these two are going to go together like this. Our poly caps are going to go on the inside there. Let's open up this bag. So, it's going to go like this. It's a tight fit, so it's not going to fall out accidentally, right? It doesn't fall out. And this guy is going to go like that. And they're saying don't glue the poly caps, but I guess it's safe to glue this on. I don't think it's really going to matter when it sandwiches together. If for some reason that can spin. It's tight, so why is it tight? That's why. So whether that's glued or not, I don't think it matters. Anyway, there we go. Okay. And then we have this little piece, and it's going to drop down there. And look at that, fits perfect. Fits perfectly. Just like that. Now, of course, the next step is to actually put this in with our elevators or stabilizers right in that section. But I don't want to do that yet because I'm not ready for the actual assembly. Because these are going to go in like this. You got to find that little sweet spot where they fit perfect. That, and then this is going to drop down. What's going to be the easiest way here? I think actually putting this up through like that. I thought these would be able to rotate, but they don't. So that's a little disappointing. What's the point of the polycaps? What's the point of the polycaps if these don't rotate? Well, they do. No, they don't. I mean, these things don't have a lot of movement anyway, but still. Anyway, let's test fit here. Oh, it just slides in perfect. But you can see the difference between the light gunmetal and the dark, right? So, I mean, it's a nice little variation, but that's not what we really want. So, I still need to paint this. I got to paint that little section in there. But anyway, that's the way it's going to look. Okay, and it's going to be a similar thing on the Academy kit, except these just have these little slots that's going to go in, and it's tight fit. Like, do I even need glue? Just like that. And that's it, right? So that's the Academy kit. There's your difference, right? It's just how it all assembles. So it is kind of nice that I can leave this out, right? I could put this on, do the weathering, and then put the tail fins on after. That's a nice thing. Whereas this, I'm kind of limited. I got to keep this whole assembly off if I want to wait before doing that. Which is, there's nothing wrong with that really. Okay, but that's the way that is. So we're done with that for now, because I'm not actually going to be assembling this. We're going to wait. Okay, so we're going to skip down to the engine nozzles. Looks like I need everything off my effing tree. So let's find our effing tree. F. So my double D's. I don't need my double D's, do I? Oh, no, I do. I need my double D's, because the D's also have the E's and the F's, right? And I need my F tree. So let's just do this. Why not? Boom. F. And do the same on this one. Boom. F. Drop those F's. And we're basically going to take F2 here, this guy, and we're going to build him. Okay, we're going to put these guys all the way around the perimeter, although they're all going to go in here. Okay, so let's just make sure that's closed. I'm going to get my other glasses, and we'll spend some time doing that. And I'm going to respond to my text here. Okay, where'd my knife go? I need my knife. Where's my knife? There it is. And we want to clean this up as we start to get this done. Okay. Now, let's start getting our little pieces off of here. They're all labeled F1, Okay, so that tells me it doesn't really matter which order you assemble them as. You just need to work your way around the can. Okay. Now each one of these is going to have to be cleaned up. Get these nubs off here. You want to be careful of these little fins or feelers or whatever you want to call it. There's one. Now that these are off of the sprue and I can see exactly how Tamiya has them attached to the sprue, I'll be able to use my nippers a little more efficiently on the next set so that I don't have so much cleanup to do. Two more. Almost done. Okay, so we're going to take this and we got our little feelers and they're all going to go down. Looks like they go down inside these little slots. So let's see how they line up. They kind of do and they kind of don't. So just set that in there. I'm not sure exactly how. Maybe they don't. Let's see as we go around here. See, they tell us to take those off, and then they're telling us how to paint them all, but that's it. Doesn't look like this is going to be a little bit of trial and error because it doesn't. My initial thoughts are I'm not doing this right. They do kind of have instructions here to line them up in a certain spot. And yep, good old Tamiya, if you follow your instructions, they fit nicely. So we can start off. I'm going to glue one in. Put it in the spot. So I'll show you. I don't know if you're really going to be able to see it even on the camera. Let me change my camera here. Get this showing for you. Get this fired up here. so you can see this. Okay, so on the inside, see that right in there along this wall, you see these little ridges, right? See those? And down there too, right? And right there. Okay, so what you want to do is you line up this right in between them, so it's like that. Okay, you want to get it right in between them, like this, right in between, and that's your alignment point. So if I get that right in there, centered, it sits down nicely, and I'm going to glue it like this, so that's going to sit just like that. And I'm going to just leave this one like that for now. Let that glue dry a little bit, so I've got a little bit of strength on it. And I'll grab this one off of here. And by the time I'm ready to glue one on here, the other one should be dry, or should be ready for me to put another one on. I want to get one glued so it sits good, you know? One glued, and then it'll be a good anchor point for the rest of the parts, for the rest of them to sit on. Or to rest against. Okay. There we go. So, we'll take another one and lay it in right beside it. I gotta clean up this nub. This is the important thing. Clean your nubs. They need to be really clean, otherwise they're not going to sit beside each other properly. There's one. Two. Okay. You see, even just looking at that, I can see I didn't clean up my nub properly, and because I didn't clean it up, I got a little bit of a, it's just sticking out, ever so slightly, and that is actually, yeah, right there. And how about this piece? Yeah, so that's going to be the important thing, is really cleaning these up, getting those edges clean. That looks better. Go in just that little 1/2 millimeter better fitment. You know what I mean? Finally, I've been waiting all day for you. Well, thank you very much. Sorry about the wait. And I actually have a bit of a different setup, so I apologize I didn't catch your message earlier. Okay, next one. Yeah, see, I gotta clean up my nubs. You don't clean them up, it doesn't fit. All right. Yeah, I apologize for making you wait for me. You know, normally I do these. Normally I stream in the mornings. I did not have a chance to today, so it's just one of those days. Just one of those days. I didn't get to keep my schedule like I normally do. There we go. We're almost there. This one is being a bit of a pain. This one I can glue in now. Okay. I got 2 more to do on this one. But as I'm learning, cleaning up these nubs and getting them perfectly gone is very important on these particular parts. So I'm going to try and clean these up as best as I can. Minimize these little nubs. It's all about getting them to align, right? If they don't align, and it's just not going to happen. Of course, I went a little too careful in getting rid of these. One more. There. Okay. So, cleanup is the big factor on these guys. Okay. This one on. Get that lined up in there. And we'll get our last one. Did I clean up 2? No, I didn't. Okay, that one's in. Let's make sure it's right. And glue it in. Okay, we've got one more. One more to do to finish that engine. Now, of course, the Academy kit had nothing like this at all. It's all just, I think they were literally one piece, if I remember correctly. I don't even remember. It's been a couple of weeks since I had to deal with the cans on the Academy kit. So this last piece is a bit of a challenge. It's tight. It's tight in there. So this is where maybe gluing it is not the best choice. Like gluing them one at a time is not the best thing to do, because now it doesn't want to line up. I'm having to manhandle it a little bit to get it to fit. doesn't want to work. Okay, so let's peel that out. Sorry, I don't want to do that, but there. Didn't want to have to do that, but I had to. So now I have to re-glue it. And that's okay. Re-gluing it is fine. Now I've learned the lesson. I know for the next one. There's one. One done. Okay. There's that one. So let's clean all these up. I'll just spend the time to do these. One. Two. So I think no, there's no way around it. You're going to wind up having to clean up these nuts. And that's just the way it is. Especially to get it to fit together. If it's, you got a little bit of a nub, that's going to screw up your installation. The tolerances on these, as you just saw, are very tight. Last one. All right, so let's assemble these first before I glue them. Because that was the problem, right? It's tight enough that they all fit just perfect and almost hold themselves in. And our last one, see, it's friggin', it's tight. Even with no glue, that's a tight fit. And I got a nub on that one. So even though I glued the first one in thinking that's going to help me a lot, and it's actually hindered me a little bit. Now I got one sitting on the floor. Tamiya's tolerances on these things are pretty tight. So where'd that one go? There it is. And sorry guys, I just realized I left my camera on hunting mode. So it keeps on fighting to focus. Come on. Okay. This is not turning out to be all that much fun. Okay, we're going to do the last two. The rest of them glued in. These jerks better go in their home. I almost want to put these two together at the same time and put them in. It's not going to do any better. Finally, got it. Okay. So as you can see, that's a bit of a challenge getting these in there. But now that they're all together, it does look very nice. There's a lot of detail on that. We have our little end cap I need to put on too, so let's find my bee tree. Tamiya has given us two different styles of end caps, number 5 and number 6. Okay, it's kind of hard to see. Yeah, right there, these two guys here. But they're calling out for B6, which is this one that's got a couple of extra little circles on it. I'm going to compare it to the one out of the Academy kit to see if it has those also. This is the Tamiya kit. That's not it. And it does have them. It's got them, so I'm going to use those. Why? Because the whole intent is to build this thing as the D variant of the Korean plane. So while this is sitting like that, I'm just going to glue that right onto the right onto the end there. This, of course, is Tamiya, so it is a nice, perfect fit. And I do kind of regret waiting to do this until now, because I would have loved to have painted this at the same time as the rest of it. But I wanted to get it painted, and so I didn't want to jump ahead in the assembly process. So that's why we're doing it now. But I need to paint it to dark gunmetal anyway, so that's fine. And I could have painted it before actually putting it on. It wouldn't have really mattered. Just now, I got a mask around it. That's all. No big deal. These guys are going to go in here. It looks like they're going to slot in a certain way. We're supposed to line up some alignment tab with that there, and apparently I just accidentally did, just like that. Let's see if I get as lucky here. Nope. This is going to, there we go. So there's our engines. It's going to look like that. And we compare them to the Academy nozzles. I went with the long nozzles on the Academy kit rather than the short ones. Tamiya doesn't give me an option. Tamiya only gives me the short ones. And that's the comparison. Just like that. That's what you're going to get. There's your two. Let's bring that more to the center. There you go. And yes, much more detail on the Tamiya kit. That's for sure. And even on the underside, even though it's kind of washed out with the light. Let me turn off my light here. It's going to get real dark here in a sec. If I do that, that's no good. Let's try this. Okay. you can kind of see it doesn't really work. No. Sorry guys, it's either super washed out or it's too dark. I don't have the ability to show you. The panel lines on the Tamiya kit are much crisper on the bottom than on the Academy. The Academy kit with the white on there, kind of like you just lose it all. Without any panel lining, you can't see anything here. But you can see, even just in a little bit, that you can, even though it's washed out, you can see some of that detail. If I really show it up, it's not going to do anything. It doesn't work, sorry. But you can tell, you see what I mean. That's just, that's the biggest difference I'm seeing here. So now I've got the engines assembled. I'm not going to put them on because I need to paint still. That's going to be it for this. We're going to hold off on this for now. If I flip this over, we're going to go into some landing gear bay doors as the next step on the Tamiya kit. But I want to flip over to back to our Academy for a moment. And let me get back to this here. The Academy kit, we skipped this little section here, putting on the nose cone, right? Now my tea's gone cold. So if we get the Academy kit, we need to go G32 and 34 and 35, and we need G3. So I need to find the G tree in the Academy kit, which shouldn't be too hard considering it's got the nose cones on it. Academy is giving me two options of nose cones, but not in the instructions. In the instructions we want G32, which is this guy here. Okay, this is the one we want. I'm going to get rid of this one so that it's no longer taking up so much space in the box. Okay, so this is garbage. And I want G3. We've got 4 different selections of, I don't know what these even are. See, I don't know enough about the Phantoms to know exactly what purpose this thing is. I think it's radar, but I don't know. But we want G3, which is this guy here. Okay, and we want G34 and 35. These two little half oval pieces. Okay, and those, actually, you know what? I lied. Academy did give me the options of short nozzles, and I went with long ones. I'm going to use these ones instead on the Academy kit. Okay. I'll show you the detail comparison between the Tamiya and the Academy kit. Okay, hold on a sec here. Alright. There's the detail there's your comparison. Okay, ignore my long fingernail. There's the comparison on the detail between Academy and Tamiya. That's the outside. See how this is smooth? This is very rough. You can see all those things. Let's go to the inside. There's the difference on the detail on the inside. All those nice little fins on the Tamiya kit, and they are kind of non-existent on the Academy. That's the difference. That's the biggest difference between the two kits. Okay, I got to get rid of these big nubs. Now, you guys saw when I was putting the front part of the fuselage together on this kit, and I showed you how this did not fit these lines. You can still see that white line there. This is actually molded in white, right? I've got overspray from where I actually painted everything to match up. And I had to put crazy glue down on the inside here to squeeze that together and get it to hold and sit where it's supposed to go. That was the biggest issue with this kit, was this little section right here. It still doesn't feel right. I've sanded it down and I've put filler in there and everything like that. So we'll see how this nose cone fits. It's not horrendous, but it's also not perfect. It's going to need a little love. It's going to need a little love to get it really looking like it should. It's the curvature does not match, so I'm just going to match it up as close as I can. I can get it looking pretty good up top there. But as it comes around, it doesn't look that great. So I line it up as best as I can and just leave it. That's all she's going to get. I will do some sanding on it once this glue has had a chance to dry and harden and cure and all that wonderful terminology for the glue. Yeah, tiny little bit of a gap right here, but that's going to get covered by this guy once he goes on, so that's not an issue. The biggest issue is this is sticking out further than this. This sticks out here further than that, so when I try and sand that, that's going to be a chore. This, same thing, this is curving more than this does. We go over to this side, and this is starting to curve in right here. So a little bit of filler might fix that and hide that. Up here it's not bad. It's not bad. Okay. So that's that. So let's clean these pieces up. Now, of course, you go, okay, so that's the Academy kit. What about the Tamiya nose? What's the Tamiya nose look like? Well, I'm not there yet with the Tamiya kit. The Tamiya kit, as you can tell, there was no nub that the thing for to slide over. It was just right flush. It's a flush fit. Or the Tamiya is actually going to be like a press over top of this. And I'm going to guess, because it's Tamiya, that's probably going to fit perfect. That's just my guess. is probably going to be flawless. Okay, so these are cleaned up, and these got to go on these little slots here. Just like that. They look like little intakes of some sort. Probably would have benefited from painting them white or installing them before I painted everything white. Hindsight being 20/20. It's just the way it is. It's not the end of the world. No biggie. Okay, so those are on. Now they have a little hole here for something I guess is supposed to possibly go in there. I don't see anything though. There's no little pin sticking out at the bottom of this to go in there. A little bit of a seam, a mold seam to deal with here. Let's just kind of get rid of that protrusion. Okay, and this guy's going to go in. Is he going to go in? That's a tight fit. I should have put it on the nose before putting the nose on the plane. Tight fit, but it fits. And it's actually one of the better fitting parts on this kit so far. Alright, there we go. There's our nose. Our little radar thing, whatever the heck that is. So, not sure what's going to happen with that little hole that's down there, but yeah, I guess we'll find out. So I want to do the same piece on the Tamiya kit, right? So I'm going to jump ahead and take a look at our Tamiya nose and see when we actually get there. Wow, we go many pages before we finally get to the assembly of the nose. Even putting the pilot in, the nose is already on. What the heck? There it is. Okay, so we want to do M5. M5 for the nose cone. This guy right here. And then we want to do getting our P tree. P tree. Here's our P tree. Okay, and so Tamiya has actually got these things in two halves. and two very different looking pods. Okay, we're not going to be doing this one. We're not doing 24 and 25. That's a totally different one. We want 26 and 27 for what I am building here. And I gotta trim these great big nubs off of this. Tamiya kind of has them undergated a little bit. If you don't know what undergated means, it's when they basically have the attachment point for the sprue completely away from a visible edge. Okay, so there's that. There's the nose. Right? There's that. Now we got to put these together. I got to clean up the nubs first. At least one of them. Little nub on the tails. And right there. Okay. You see that tiny little rectangle there? Tiny little hole right there. Camera won't focus on it. There's a little hole right here. Now, there was a little rectangular piece sticking out right there that was supposed to go in that little hole, but I thought it was just a nub, and so I took my knife and I cleaned it off, and now I have a hole. Again, it's not the end of the world, but it's just something else I gotta deal with. And it's not going to be hard. I'll just put a little bit of putty in there, and it'll be fine. It'll fill it in, and no big deal. Like I said, it's just something I got to deal with. Now I would say, okay, it's kind of better in the sense that we're putting two halves together rather than a one solid piece, because the seam line is something that's a little easier to deal with when you're putting it together yourself. It's going in the exact same way as the Academy kit. It fits just as well as the Academy kit. I can't complain. Of course, the way the Tamiya kit has fit, I have zero complaints at all. The Tamiya kit has gone together perfectly every time. Now these are not exactly the same. The Academy kit has a big hump here. So let's take that off. The Academy kit actually is the other one. It's this guy. It's just the Academy kit, it's just a little bubble where this actually has some detail molded into it. They've just, Tamiya's done a better job at actually molding the detail on it. than Academy did. So it's a little misleading. Fits in there exactly the same. Now, the seam on this one isn't quite as good. I think with a little adjustment I can fix that. I might need to do a little bit of sanding to get this, just to get rid of that seam separation between the two pieces, but it might be alright, not too big of a deal. Go. You're in. You're glued. There. So there's our two cones right there. Okay. And there's the difference between the two. I can't show you as good on the camera as I want to. You can actually see some mold detail here on the Tamiya kit. There's nothing on this one. Absolutely nothing. Let's do a test fit on our Tamiya cone. Where's my Tamiya kit? Tamiya cone. It's got these little notches for you to line it up. Slides on. It's tight. And it fits perfectly all the way around. Perfectly flush, just as I thought it would. That's the Tamiya cone. So there you go. I'll change my camera back. We can have a closer look and see the differences on these two. There's our two cones. Okay. See the detail on the Tamiya kit on this one here, the difference on the actual molding. It's kind of hard to get this centered and focused on for you guys, but there you go. It's a little bit of a challenge, yeah. So anyway, the Tamiya kit already has these guys kind of half molded in on the front there. Obviously little caps I'm going to have to put on instead of the entire piece like that. But anyway, I'm going to pull that off and set that aside. And obviously I'm not using this one, so goodbye. Alright. Okay, so let's close that. And I'm going to do this and that. And that is where I'm going to end it for tonight, guys. Okay, so obviously I still have to do a little bit of painting on the back of the Tamiya kit. This is going to slide in just right in there like that, just like that. Okay, and that's how that sits. That's the Academy kit. Okay, I'm going to have to do that and do that, and I'm going to paint up these cans to go on the Academy kit, just like that. I didn't have these painted anyway. These were literally just sitting on there because I had to glue them on early on in the build part, but now that it's all together, obviously ripping them off was pretty easy. But yeah, so that's where I'm going to leave it for tonight. And I will continue this next time. I think what I'm going to do next time, we'll put the tail together on the Academy kit once I've got the engines primed, get some primer on them, and get them ready for some paint so they don't look so stupid. And the Tamiya kit, we need to start working on some other things. Things like landing gear bays. The landing gear bay doors, get those painted. There's pieces to assemble, 2 halves, and unlike the Academy kit where it's just one door is by itself, the Tamiya kit is assembly of fronts and rears, all that kind of stuff. And just extra little bits that the Tamiya kit is, you know, it's just more assembly process. And that's typical with the Tamiya when you try and compare it with like the Academy. There's a lot more to actually physically assemble on the Tamiya kit. So yeah, that's why. So, if you guys haven't noticed already, you guys are watching me live, there's a subscribe button down there now, because now I am an affiliate with Twitch. And that just happened today, and I'm really happy about that. So, subscribe on Twitch. And subscribe on YouTube. Yes. More subscribers, more subscribers. Yes, that's what I need. And yes, if you like this stuff, hit that like button. Leave a comment down below. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all the support. You guys are really awesome. I love it. Thank you so much. And with that, that's going to be about it for this one. And yeah. So we'll try. I don't know if I'll have time during the week to continue this, but that just means there's always next weekend. So I guess that's about it. And we'll see you all in the next one.